The Varelians, a technologically advanced race known for their conquest across countless galaxies, had set their sights on Earth. Their fleet, a colossal armada of sleek metallic ships, glided through the cold void of space with an eerie grace. Each vessel was a masterpiece of engineering, a testament to the Varelians' superiority in technology and warfare. In the command center of the flagship, High Commander Xalar surveyed the planet below. Earth, with its swirling blue oceans and lush green continents, seemed almost too beautiful to conquer. But Xalar felt no remorse. Beauty had never stopped the Varelians before. To them, Earth was a primitive planet, rich in resources and ripe for the taking. "Initiate the descent," Xalar ordered, his voice calm and devoid of emotion. The officers around him moved with precision, executing the command without question. The fleet began its descent, entering the Earth's atmosphere with a series of controlled bursts from their propulsion systems. On the ground, humanity was oblivious to the impending invasion. Life went on as usual, with people going about their daily routines, unaware that their world was about to change forever. But in the skies above, the first signs of the Varelians' presence became apparent. Dark, ominous shapes appeared in the clouds, casting shadows over the cities below. In New York City, Sarah, a journalist, was the first to notice something strange. She had been out on a morning jog in Central Park when she saw the sky darken unnaturally. She stopped, looking up in confusion as the clouds seemed to swirl and twist in an unnatural manner. Others around her began to notice too, pointing and murmuring in confusion. Then came the sound, a deep, resonant hum that seemed to vibrate through the very air. It grew louder, more intense, until it was almost deafening. People clapped their hands over their ears, looking around in panic. Sarah pulled out her phone, recording the sky as the first Varelian ships broke through the clouds. The ships were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. They were vast, their surfaces smooth and reflective, giving them an almost otherworldly appearance. They moved with an unsettling grace, hovering above the cities as if surveying their new domain. Panic spread quickly as people realized that these were not human-made machines. In the White House, President Jackson was quickly briefed on the situation. Satellite images confirmed what many feared. Earth was under attack. The president called for an emergency meeting with his top military advisors. There was no time to lose. "We need to understand what we're dealing with," President Jackson said, his voice steady but filled with urgency. "Get me in contact with our allies. This is not just an American issue, it's a global threat." Around the world, similar scenes played out as governments scrambled to respond to the alien invasion. In London, Tokyo, Moscow, and Beijing, leaders called for calm while their military forces prepared for the worst. Scientists and researchers were mobilized to analyze the alien technology, hoping to find a way to defend against it. In the Varelian flagship, Xalar watched the chaos below with satisfaction. "Begin the primary assault," he commanded. "Show them the power of the Varelian Empire." The Varelian ships opened fire, their weapons unleashing beams of energy that tore through buildings and infrastructure with terrifying efficiency. Cities burned as humanity faced an unprecedented threat. The initial assault was devastating, leaving millions dead and countless more injured. But humanity was not so easily conquered. As the Varelians unleashed their fury, pockets of resistance began to form. Ordinary people, driven by a fierce determination to protect their homes and loved ones, started to fight back. From the ashes of destruction, the first sparks of resistance were ignited. The first day of the invasion was a blur of terror and confusion. Across the globe, people watched in horror as their cities were reduced to rubble. The Varelians, confident in their technological superiority, had not anticipated any significant resistance, but they were about to be proven wrong. In the heart of New York City, Sarah's footage of the alien ships went viral, spreading across social media like wildfire. Her images and videos provided the world with its first clear look at the invaders. As people shared her posts, a sense of solidarity began to grow. Humanity, for all its flaws, was coming together in the face of a common enemy. Sarah found herself at the center of the burgeoning resistance. She had always been a storyteller, but now her role was more critical than ever. She used her platform to share information, coordinate efforts, and inspire others. Her messages were simple but powerful. We are not alone. We can fight back. In Washington, D.C., President Jackson coordinated with world leaders to form a unified response. Military forces from around the globe were mobilized, but the initial engagements were disastrous. The Varelian technology was far beyond anything Earth had ever encountered. Their weapons were devastating, their defenses impenetrable. In the midst of this chaos, Dr. Elena Martinez, a brilliant physicist, was called to the Pentagon. Elena had spent her career studying theoretical physics and had a deep understanding of advanced energy systems. As she examined the footage of the Varelian weapons, she noticed something intriguing. They're using a type of energy beam that appears to be based on principles we understand, but at a far more advanced level, Elena explained to a room of top military and scientific minds. If we can analyze the energy signature, we might find a way to disrupt or deflect their attacks. Elena's proposal was met with skepticism, but there was no time to waste. She was given a team of researchers and access to the best technology available. As they worked tirelessly to decipher the alien technology, the resistance on the ground continued to grow. In the streets of New York, Marcus Walker, a former hacker with a criminal past, saw an opportunity. The chaos of the invasion provided the perfect cover for his activities. But instead of exploiting the situation for personal gain, Marcus decided to use his skills to fight back. He began to hack into the Varelian communication systems, looking for any vulnerability he could exploit. "These aliens think they're untouchable," Marcus muttered to himself as he worked. "Let's show them what humans can do." Meanwhile, military units around the world began to adapt their tactics. Conventional weapons were largely ineffective against the Varelian ships, but guerrilla tactics and improvised explosives started to make a difference. Small victories were won, and each one inspired more people to join the fight. In Tokyo, a group of engineers repurposed construction equipment to create makeshift weapons. In the Australian outback, Aboriginal trackers used their knowledge of the land to ambush Varelian patrols. In the African savannah, Maasai warriors joined forces with local militias to protect their communities. The resistance was not just about fighting, it was about survival and adaptation. Humanity's greatest strength lay in its diversity and ingenuity. Every culture, every community had something to contribute. The Varelians had underestimated the power of unity and the human spirit. As the days turned into weeks, the resistance grew stronger. Dr. Elena Martinez's research began to yield results. She discovered a way to create an energy field that could disrupt the Varelian beams. It was not a perfect solution, but it provided a crucial advantage. With this new technology, human forces launched a coordinated counterattack. For the first time, they managed to take down a Varelian ship. The victory was a turning point, igniting hope across the world. People began to believe that they could win this war. In the Varelian command center, High Commander Excelauer watched the unfolding events with growing concern. "They are more resilient than we anticipated," he admitted to his advisors. "We must reassess our strategy." The Varelians were learning a harsh lesson. Technology alone was not enough to guarantee victory. The human spirit, with its capacity for resilience, innovation, and unity, was proving to be a formidable opponent. As the Varelian occupation continued, humanity's resolve only strengthened. The initial shock of the invasion had given way to a steely determination to resist. Across the globe, people from all walks of life came together to fight for their survival. In a secret underground facility beneath the Rockies, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team worked around the clock. Their makeshift laboratory was filled with a chaotic array of equipment, wires, and screens, displaying complex data. Elena's breakthrough with the energy disruption field had given humanity a fighting chance, but there was still much work to be done. "We need to find a way to mass-produce these devices," Elena said, her voice tinged with exhaustion. "Every second counts." Elena's team consisted of some of the brightest minds from various scientific disciplines. There was Dr. Ahmed Hussein, a renowned engineer from Cairo, Dr. Mi Ling, a quantum physicist from Beijing, and Dr. Maria Sanchez, a biologist from Madrid. Together, they formed a formidable brain trust, each contributing their expertise to the cause. Meanwhile, On the front lines, Marcus Walker's hacking skills had become a vital asset. He had managed to infiltrate the Virelian communication network, disrupting their coordination and providing valuable intelligence to the Resistance. His actions had earned him a place in the inner circle of the Resistance leadership. One evening, as Marcus pored over intercepted Virelian transmissions, he received a message from Sarah. She had become a key figure in the Resistance, using her journalistic skills to gather and disseminate information. "Marcus, I think I found something important," Sarah's message read. "There's a Virelian facility near Denver that's been heavily fortified. It might be their main communication hub." Marcus's eyes lit up. If we can take that out, we could cripple their operations, he thought. He immediately relayed the information to the Resistance leaders. Plans were quickly drawn up for a daring mission to infiltrate and disable the Virelian hub. It would be risky, but the potential payoff was too great to ignore. In the dead of night, a small team of elite soldiers and Resistance fighters moved silently through the mountains. Led by Captain James Mitchell, a seasoned veteran with a reputation for bravery, the team approached the Virelian facility. They were armed with a mix of conventional weapons and the new energy disruption devices developed by Elena's team. The facility was heavily guarded, but the element of surprise was on the human side. Using Marcus's intelligence, they bypassed the outer defenses and infiltrated the facility. Inside, they encountered fierce resistance, but the energy disruption devices proved their worth, neutralizing the Virelian weapons. As they fought their way deeper into the facility, Captain Mitchell's team encountered something unexpected. In a large chamber, they found a group of Virelians working frantically at a series of consoles. It was clear that this was the nerve center of their operations. "Take them down," Captain Mitchell ordered. The battle was intense, but the human fighters prevailed. As the last of the Virelian defenders fell, Marcus remotely accessed the main console. His fingers flew over the keyboard, bypassing security protocols and initiating a shutdown sequence. "We're in," Marcus's voice crackled over the comms. "This should disrupt their entire communication network." Outside, the effects were immediate. Virelian ships began to falter, their coordinated maneuvers breaking down. The human forces seized the opportunity, launching a series of devastating attacks on the disoriented invaders. The victory at the Denver facility was a turning point. News of the successful mission spread quickly, inspiring resistance fighters around the world. The Virelians, once seen as invincible, were now vulnerable. Humanity had shown that it could adapt and overcome even the most advanced technology. In the Virelian Command Center, High Commander Exaliar was furious. "We underestimated them," he admitted, "but this is far from over. Prepare for a full-scale retaliation." The Virelians launched a brutal counteroffensive, targeting key resistance strongholds. The battles were fierce, and the casualties were high, but humanity had found its footing. The resistance, bolstered by its recent successes, fought back with renewed vigor. In the underground lab, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team continued their work. They had made significant progress in refining the energy disruption devices and were now developing new technologies to further tip the scales in humanity's favor. "We're close to a breakthrough," Elena told her team. "If we can perfect this new weapon, we might be able to turn the tide for good." The war raged on, but the balance of power was shifting. Humanity's resilience, innovation, and unity were proving to be more than a match for the Virelians' technological might. The invaders had underestimated their enemy, and now they were paying the price. As the resistance grew stronger, the diversity of its members became one of its greatest assets. People from all over the world brought their unique skills and perspectives to the fight, creating a melting pot of innovation and determination. In the underground resistance headquarters, the atmosphere was one of intense collaboration. Engineers, hackers, soldiers, medics, and strategists worked side by side, united by a common goal. The lines between nations and cultures blurred as humanity came together to fight for its survival. Elena Martinez's lab had become a hub of activity. Her team had expanded to include experts from various fields, each contributing their knowledge to the war effort. Dr. Ahmed Hussein, with his background in engineering, had developed a method to enhance the energy disruption devices, making them more effective against Virelian shields. Dr. Mi Ling's expertise in quantum physics had led to the creation of a prototype weapon that could potentially disable Virelian ships with a single shot. "We're making progress," Elena said, her eyes bright with determination. "But we need more time." Time was a luxury they didn't have. The Virelians were relentless, and their attacks were becoming more desperate. In response, the resistance intensified its efforts, launching coordinated strikes on Virelian positions around the world. In the heart of the African savanna, a unique alliance had formed. Maasai warriors known for their bravery and knowledge of the land had joined forces with local militias. Together, they used guerrilla tactics to harass and ambush Virelian patrols. Their intimate understanding of the terrain gave them a significant advantage, allowing them to strike hard and then disappear into the landscape. One evening, as the sun set over the savannah, a group of Maasai warriors prepared for another mission. Among them was Nia, a young warrior with a fierce determination to protect her people. She had seen the devastation caused by the Virelians and had vowed to fight back. "We move at dawn," Nia said, her voice steady. "Our scouts have identified a Virelian supply convoy. We'll hit them hard and take what we need." The mission was a success. The warriors ambushed the convoy, overwhelming the Virelian guards and seizing valuable supplies. The victory was a testament to the power of unity and the effectiveness of unconventional tactics. In Tokyo, a group of engineers and scientists had repurposed construction equipment to create makeshift weapons. Led by Dr. Kenji Nakamura, a robotics expert, they developed robotic drones capable of delivering explosive payloads to Virelian targets. These drones, guided by remote pilots, proved to be highly effective in disrupting Virelian operations. "Every day we hold out is a victory," Dr. Nakamura said to his team. "We may not have their technology, but we have our ingenuity." In the United States, former hacker Marcus Walker continued to play a crucial role in the resistance. His ability to infiltrate and disrupt Virelian communication networks had become invaluable. He worked closely with Sarah, whose journalistic skills had evolved into a means of coordinating resistance efforts. "We need to stay ahead of them," Marcus said during a strategy meeting. "The more we disrupt their communications, the more disorganized they'll become." Sarah nodded, "And we need to keep the world informed. Information is power. The more people know, the stronger our resistance will be." In London, a similar spirit of innovation and collaboration was at work. Dr. Emma Thompson, a renowned medical researcher, had turned her skills to developing treatments for those injured in the conflict. Her work on advanced regenerative therapies had saved countless lives and ensured that wounded fighters could return to the battlefield. "We can't afford to lose anyone," Dr. Thompson said to her team. The resistance was not just about fighting back. It was about survival and adaptation. Humanity's ability to innovate and work together was proving to be its greatest strength. The Virelians, for all their technological superiority, had underestimated the power of unity and the human spirit. The human resistance was gaining momentum. The diverse tactics and innovative strategies employed by people around the world were beginning to take a toll on the Virelians. The invaders, once confident in their superiority, were now struggling to maintain control. In the underground lab beneath the Rockies, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team had made a significant breakthrough. They had developed a new type of weapon that could generate a localized energy field, capable of disabling Virelian ships and ground forces. This weapon, dubbed the Disruptor, was humanity's best hope for turning the tide of the war. "We need to get these into the field as soon as possible," Elena said, her voice filled with urgency. "Every day we delay, more lives are lost." The first batch of disruptors was deployed to key resistance cells around the world. In the hands of skilled fighters, these weapons proved to be devastatingly effective. Virelian ships were brought down, and ground forces were neutralized with precision. In the Virelian Command Center, High Commander XLIR watched the reports with growing alarm. "Their technology is improving," he said to his advisors. "We need to find a way to counter this new weapon." The Virelians launched a series of brutal counterattacks, but the resistance held firm. The disruptors, combined with the ingenuity and determination of human fighters, were proving to be a game changer. In the heart of New York City, Marcus Walker had discovered a new way to exploit the Varelian communication network. By infiltrating their systems, he could relay false information and disrupt their operations even further. His efforts had earned him the nickname, the Ghost among Resistance Fighters. "We need to keep them guessing," Marcus said to Sarah during a strategy meeting. "The more confusion we create, the harder it will be for them to regroup." Sarah nodded. "And we need to keep the world informed." In the African savannah, Nia and her Maasai warriors continued their guerrilla tactics. They had become experts at striking swiftly and disappearing into the landscape. Their knowledge of the terrain gave them a significant advantage, allowing them to outmaneuver the Varelian forces. One evening, as Nia and her warriors prepared for another mission, they received word of a nearby Varelian outpost. It was a crucial supply depot, and taking it down would deal a significant blow to the invaders. "We strike at dawn," Nia said, her voice filled with determination. The mission was a resounding success. The warriors overwhelmed the Varelian guards and destroyed the outpost, seizing valuable supplies and equipment. The victory was a testament to the power of unity and the effectiveness of unconventional tactics. In Tokyo, Dr. Kenji Nakamura and his team had developed a new type of drone, capable of delivering precision strikes against Varelian targets. These drones, equipped with the latest technology, proved to be highly effective in disrupting Varelian operations. "Every day we hold out is a victory," Dr. Nakamura said to his team. "We may not have their technology, but we have our ingenuity." In the United States, the resistance had grown into a formidable force. Former hacker Marcus Walker continued to play a crucial role in disrupting Varelian communications. His ability to infiltrate and sabotage their systems had become invaluable. "We need to stay ahead of them," Marcus said during a strategy meeting. Sarah, now a key figure in the resistance, used her journalistic skills to gather and disseminate information. Her messages inspired people around the world to join the fight and contributed to the growing sense of unity and determination. In London, Dr. Emma Thompson's medical research had made significant strides. Her work on advanced regenerative therapies had saved countless lives and ensured that wounded fighters could return to the battlefield. "We can't afford to lose anyone," Dr. Thompson said to her team. "Every life saved is another soldier who can continue the fight." The resistance was not just about fighting back. It was about survival and adaptation. Humanity's ability to innovate and work together was proving to be its greatest strength. The Varelians, for all their technological superiority, had underestimated the power of unity and the human spirit. In the underground lab beneath the Rockies, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team faced constant pressure. The disruptors had proven to be a game changer, but the Varelians were adapting. Elena knew they needed to stay ahead. "We need to refine the disruptors," Elena said during a team meeting. "The Varelians are finding ways to counter them. We need to keep innovating." Dr. Ahmed Hussein nodded. "I've been working on a new enhancement. It should increase the range and power of the disruptors." Dr. Meiling added, "And I've been exploring ways to make them more efficient so we can produce more units with the resources we have." The team worked tirelessly, driven by a shared sense of purpose. They knew that their work could mean the difference between victory and defeat. On the front lines, the resistance continued to adapt and innovate. In the heart of New York City, Marcus Walker had become a legend. His hacking skills had disrupted countless Varelian operations, and his actions had saved thousands of lives. One evening, as Marcus worked on a new plan to infiltrate the Varelian command network, he received a message from Sarah. "We've got intel on a major Varelian supply convoy. If we can hit it, we'll cripple their logistics for weeks." Marcus grinned. "Let's do it." The mission was meticulously planned. Resistance fighters from various cells coordinated their efforts, striking the convoy with precision. The attack was a resounding success, and the Varelian supply lines were severely disrupted. But the victory came at a cost. Several resistance fighters were killed in the operation, including Captain James Mitchell, who had led many successful missions. His loss was a devastating blow to the resistance, but it also strengthened their resolve. "We can't let their sacrifices be in vain," Sarah said during a memorial service for the fallen fighters. We have to keep fighting, for them and for everyone who believes in a free Earth. In the African savannah, Naya and her Maasai warriors continued their relentless campaign against the Varelians. They had become experts at striking swiftly and disappearing into the landscape. Their knowledge of the terrain gave them a significant advantage, allowing them to outmaneuver the Varelian forces. One day, as Nia and her warriors prepared for another mission, they received word of a nearby Varelian outpost. It was a crucial supply depot, and taking it down would deal a significant blow to the invaders. "We strike at dawn," Nia said, her voice filled with determination. The mission was a resounding success. The warriors overwhelmed the Varelian guards and destroyed the outpost, seizing valuable supplies and equipment. The victory was a testament to the power of unity and the effectiveness of unconventional tactics. In Tokyo, Dr. Kenji Nakamura and his team had developed a new type of drone, capable of delivering precision strikes against Varelian targets. These drones, equipped with the latest technology, proved to be highly effective in disrupting Varelian operations. "Every day we hold out is a victory," Dr. Nakamura said to his team. "We may not have their technology, but we have our ingenuity." In London, Dr. Emma Thompson's medical research had made significant strides. Her work on advanced regenerative therapies had saved countless lives and ensured that wounded fighters could return to the battlefield. "We can't afford to lose anyone," Dr. Thompson said to her team. "Every life saved is another soldier who can continue the fight." The resistance was not just about fighting back, it was about survival and adaptation. Humanity's ability to innovate and work together was proving to be its greatest strength. The Varelians, for all their technological superiority, had underestimated the power of unity and the human spirit. The war had reached a critical juncture. The resistance had proven that humanity was not to be underestimated, and the Varelians were feeling the pressure. High Commander Exalear knew that a decisive victory was necessary to maintain their grip on Earth, but the cost of continued conflict was becoming too great. In the Varelian command center, Exalear convened a meeting with his top advisors. "We must reassess our strategy," he said. "The humans are more resilient and innovative than we anticipated. We need to find a way to bring this conflict to a resolution." One of his advisors, General Torak, spoke up. "We could offer a truce. If we acknowledge their strength and seek a peaceful resolution, we might avoid further losses." Exalear considered the suggestion. The idea of negotiating with humans was distasteful, but the Varelians had always been pragmatic. "Prepare a diplomatic envoy," he ordered. "We will see if the humans are willing to talk." On Earth, the resistance leadership was wary of the Varelian overtures. President Jackson and his advisors debated the best course of action. "Can we trust them?" Jackson asked. Dr. Elena Martinez, who had become a key advisor to the resistance, weighed in. "We need to be cautious, but this could be an opportunity to end the war. If we can negotiate from a position of strength, we might secure a lasting peace." A delegation was assembled, consisting of military leaders, scientists, and representatives from various resistance factions. Sarah was among them, chosen for her role in galvanizing the resistance and her ability to communicate the human perspective. The negotiations took place in a neutral location, a remote island that had been spared the devastation of the war. The Varelian envoy, led by General Torak, arrived with an air of cautious optimism. The human delegation, led by President Jackson, was determined but wary. The initial talks were tense. Both sides had suffered greatly, and the wounds of war were still fresh. But as the discussions continued, a tentative understanding began to form. The Varelians acknowledged their underestimation of humanity and expressed a willingness to coexist peacefully. "We have seen your strength and resilience," General Torak said. "We seek a truce, a chance to rebuild and move forward together." President Jackson nodded. "We want peace, but it must be on terms that ensure our freedom and security. We cannot accept anything less." The negotiations were long and complex, but eventually a framework for peace was established. The Varelians agreed to withdraw their forces and provide reparations for the damage caused. In return, humanity would share its knowledge and resources, fostering a partnership based on mutual respect and cooperation. The announcement of the truce was met with relief and celebration around the world. The war had taken a tremendous toll, but the prospect of peace brought hope for a brighter future. The war had ended, but the work of rebuilding was just beginning. Across the globe, people came together to heal the wounds of conflict and rebuild their communities. The spirit of unity and resilience that had carried humanity through the darkest days of the invasion now fueled the efforts to create a better world. In New York City, Sarah stood at the site of the first Virelian attack. The city was slowly coming back to life, with people working together to restore what had been lost. Sarah had resumed her role as a journalist, documenting the recovery and sharing stories of hope and resilience. In the underground lab beneath the Rockies, Dr. Elena Martinez and her team continued their research. The technologies developed during the war had the potential to revolutionize many aspects of human life. Elena was determined to ensure that these advancements would be used for the benefit of all humanity. Marcus Walker, the legendary hacker known as the Ghost, had found a new purpose. He used his skills to help rebuild and secure the world's digital infrastructure, ensuring that humanity would be better prepared for any future threats. In the African savannah, Nia and her Maasai warriors returned to their traditional way of life, but their experiences during the war had forged strong bonds with other communities. They continued to share their knowledge and skills, contributing to the broader effort to rebuild and protect the land. In Tokyo, Dr. Kenji Nakamura's team continued to innovate, using the lessons learned during the war to develop new technologies for peaceful purposes. Their work on robotics and drones had the potential to transform industries and improve lives. In London, Dr. Emma Thompson's medical research had made significant strides. Her advanced regenerative therapies were now being used to treat a wide range of injuries and illnesses, improving the quality of life for countless people. The Virelians, too, had learned valuable lessons. Their interactions with humanity had shown them the power of resilience, unity, and innovation. They had come to respect the strength and creativity of their former adversaries and were committed to working together for a peaceful future. The alliance between humans and Virelians grew stronger over time, fostering a spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. Together, they explored new frontiers, pushing the boundaries of science and technology. As the sun set on a world that had been forever changed, Sarah reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. The war had tested humanity in ways they had never imagined, but it had also revealed their greatest strengths. The indomitable human spirit, she wrote in her journal, in the face of unimaginable odds, we found a way to survive and thrive. Our resilience, unity, and creativity have carried us through the darkest of times. And now, as we look to the future, we do so with hope and determination. Together, we can build a better world. The story of the Virelian invasion and humanity's triumph over adversity would be remembered for generations. It was a testament to the power of unity and the unbreakable human spirit.